What is up, everybody? We are at Bridgeport, Texas for our very first season opener race of the season. It was a little breezy yesterday and today. It's warmed up a little bit. We had some ice and snow. I left Illinois and drove south like 14 hours, and it kept getting colder as I was heading down south. So we're here in Bridgeport. We had side-by-side racing yesterday. We had a couple different classes. We got some big bouncers. We have some youth class. We have some crazy guys in side-by-sides. They're going to try to do the same course as the big bouncers. We have a lot of action, RC stuff going on. A lot of action coming your guys' way today. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, we're going to kick the day off with one of our new classes for the season. That's going to be the UTV youth class. I know we have at least 2 young drivers this morning. Got a couple questions about how yesterday's racing went down. So yesterday we had the UTV stock class, cup class, and our new VIN class. So Clay Kaysen won UTV Cup, the unlimited class. He laid down 2 amazing smoking fast runs on both courses, or both times around the course. So awesome job, Clay Kaysen. Justin Hoback won the UTV stock class in the 4-seater.
Killing it in a 4-seater.
Yeah, that was fun.
Which just made me happy.
It was a good course yesterday. And then Don Curtis in our new VIN class. We had 2 contestants yesterday, and we're excited to continue to see that class grow this season and add drivers. So,
and I know there's a lot of guys that are in the works of building VIN class rigs. I kind of preached yesterday, and it was so much fun to see the guys get out, and a guy at a 1-ton Chevy truck, 454, 38-inch DOT tire, just thrashing through the rock section. So much fun to watch. Clyde even said later, he goes, that's a lot of fun. He goes, I really enjoy that class. You know?
I know a lot of people enjoy watching it, and it opens up the series to a whole nother genre and class of drivers, as well as our new UTV youth class. So just expanding the series and getting as many people involved as we can. And then, like you said, we've also got RCs that we're running today, which for this season we split into the metal class and plastic class. So a couple changes for the season, some new additions. We talked yesterday about some of the things we're adding or doing differently for the show. So if you missed that, stay tuned. We're going to be hopefully incorporating some new things like leaderboard on screen, and we've got a new satellite system and just all kinds of stuff. This weekend we're trying out a few of those things, and then some of it will continue to come as we go through the season. So glad to have you guys back with us for Hillside Live 2022. We are ready to go racing.
It is. I say they're getting everything right down by the bouncers. They're going to kick that off here shortly. So we got somebody on the line.
Okay, so we are going to start with our UTV youth class today.
It's so cute to see that tiny little, side-by-side sitting inside that big starting gate. Super cool to see.
So the youth class is for 170 and 200 drivers.
Yep.
I'm not sure if this is Clara or Gatlin. Let me find out.
What's up, Brooks Myers, tuning in to watch us today. John Campbell, another racer. Adam Kuntz.
All right, this is Clara Hoback on the line. Her first ever race. She's been eagerly awaiting her opportunity here. Justin Hoback, her dad, told me that she was just tearing around their property with family and everything, playing in this. So I think she got it for Christmas or sometime around then. So this is her first race with us. This is our first race ever for having our UTV youth class here with the National Rock Racing Association. So let's see how she does.
And I love watching these little guys go out there and just go out racing. It's so much fun. And they try as hard as the adults, I think.
Oh, yeah. It's a very serious thing.
They're very passionate about racing just as much as some of our bigger race car drivers.
And let's just point out that we're here at Bridgeport at the park that we're at. We've got a really nice long course laid out, and then as well as the big hill climb that we've come to expect for this park. But that's a lot to keep track of when you're a 6-year-old driver and on your first race, to keep track of the course and the turns that you're going to be making. Clara just put down a 5:0.773 in our inaugural UTV youth race.
That's so great. Clint tuning in. Clint Evans. Runs the General 2.0 He's a Texas guy, part of that Kryptonite Custom crew. Come out of Louisiana.
Hey, Jonathan Gibbs, if you think you can fit into one of these things,
that would be
come
awesome.
on.
Jonathan would definitely
They do look awfully fun.
Jonathan would definitely give a 170 some heck.
This is Gatlin Wheels. Now, this is not her first race, I know, because I have seen her race before at other events.
Yeah, she's raced at Mid-America before. And, again, she's a very passionate racer. Likes to get in there. She has a radio system where she can talk to her dad. You can see him standing there. That's Justin Wills.
Down there in that pink and purple
yeah,
fire
it's
suit.
kind of hard to miss him. He races a big bouncer with us, so he's out there.
Yeah, we'll be watching him pretty soon.
Talking to her in the headset, cheering her on, telling her kind of where to go and what to do, giving her some pointers.
I think that after speaking with Gatlin some last year, and I know she came and hung out on the show with us a few times, she's got a bigger personality than that little car she's driving out there.
She does. She is pretty sassy. I'm sure she has no problem. Coming in hot to the finish line.
5-1, 4-4-1.
Wow, that was a close
very
race.
Close. Clara with a 50, Gatlin with a 51. Well done, girls.
Good job, guys.
I think those are our only two for today.
And again, I'm sure that class will definitely grow.
Yeah, if you've got kids that love racing and you want a way to get them involved, definitely something to look into. And then the RC class is always a way to get family or kids involved at the races as well. Y'all can bring them on out. And now we've got the metal class and the plastic class for RCs.
Which will be fun to watch.
So you can always go to nationalrockracing.com to find all the details for the different classes and find out what you need to know if you want to try and get involved this year. We spoke about the VIN class as well that we have. If that's more your style, and if you're not of the age and size to join in the 170 class.
Well, I feel like you can run the 170 class right up to the VIN, and then you run the VIN for a while, and then move into a big bouncer later on as your budget grows. But again, like I said, I gave my sales spiel. You can get a cheap Toyota or a Jeep Cherokee. Find a good clapped-out Cherokee on Facebook Marketplace. Hop on there, get some buddies together. You know, make sure you're meeting all your tech specs. Come on out, and it will be a lot of fun. And again, that's kind of like where our roots are at. It's kind of where we started. So I love seeing the VIN class guys going out and, they're racing the same course that some of the, a tube chassis, Razor or side-by-side that's all tuned up. They were running the same course, those guys. So to see a 1-ton truck on 38-inch DOT tires just thrashing through that was just – it's exciting. And then we had a Toyota, dual transfer case Toyota guy. So that was kind of cool on propane. So you had a completely opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
It was like a bumblebee and a rhinoceros kind of both going out there. So it was awesome to see just two different types of vehicles completely on the course. So it's a lot of fun. And, that's one of the event classes kind of designed for, to get everybody out here, have some fun. It's still, you're running a similar course to some of the bigger vehicles, but yet at the same time, it's a little more doable for that application.
Yeah. Well, and it's a change of pace for the weekend and what we're used to seeing out here. But again, just opening it up to that many more people. Hopefully, we all love to see the series grow and see our family of racers grow. So that was super fun to watch Clara and Gatlin out there in our youth class. And I believe we're going to be moving on to UTV Bounty. I can't see the screen when I have my sunglasses on.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening on there.
Little Tim Bacon there. What's up, buddy? He's got some new secrets coming out soon, I'm sure.
Oh, Jonathan says he can fit, and I'm riding with. You might be able to fit, but I'm pretty sure there's no way I'm fitting in one of those. All right, Tyler Bradley is on the line for our UTV Bounty class. If you're just joining us, you haven't missed much yet. We had 2 drivers run for our youth class. We're moving on to UTV Bounty now, and then after this, we will have our bouncer class. We are at Northwest OHV Park at Endeavor Bridgeport Adventure Park, something like that. There's a lot of a lot of words in there, but we're in Bridgeport, Texas. We haven't been here in 2 years. We had to cancel last year's event because of the ice storms that they had. So we're excited to be back here, back racing on the big hills of Bridgeport. We had a great day of racing yesterday. Now we're watching Tyler Bradley in our UTV Bounty class.
And again, I think that it was kind of funny. The ice storms in Illinois weren't that bad. We could still get through them. A lot of the guys had four-wheel drive trucks. But it was here in Texas it was getting hammered. So we could get almost here before we had bad weather. But the problem was getting here. And Clyde said, you know what? He said if some of the guys have two-wheel drive pool vehicles, if they slide off in a ditch and roll it, he said I'd feel bad. So and the park was also caulking Clyde, saying, hey, there's a good chance we might not have anybody there to open the park. So
yeah, you never know what you're going to get with weather this time of year. Fortunately, this weekend we've got sunshine, and it's supposed to get up in the 60s today. Oh, no, Tyler. Looks like he's getting a little hung up there.
There's a big rock section right before that little bitty dirt ledge there. So, and it looks like there's a pretty good-sized rock right there he's getting hung up on.
If you're not familiar with how we run the different classes, the UTV Bounty does race on the same course as the big bouncers. So it being a bounty class, got to step it up and make it that much more challenging for these guys.
What's up, Jeremy? Josh Maple tuning in, Decatur, Illinois guy. Big Tim Bacon jumping on the live feed. I know him and Mom are probably at home on Saturday having a cold beverage, watching some racing. Again, that Big Bacon family, they're some of our best racers. They get out there and get it done. Yeah, that's a great angle of the hill to see how massive and how vertical that hill is. And again, I know videos and pictures never do it justice, to see how steep some of the stuff is.
Exactly.
That is a heck of a climb.
Uh-oh.
We're hearing on the radio that he broke the front driver. And I don't think you can climb that without all four wheels turning all the time.
Well, both quit pulling. Both, the whole front end quit.
Man, that stinks.
Shout out to our drone pilots that we have out here joining us this weekend for the first time. It's Cruz, Josh, and Zach with 7 FPV. So they are they're here helping us out this weekend, and we're glad to have them because this is a long course.
It is a long course.
And it would have been a lot to cover without drones.
And that's a beautiful picture from the drone.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really great view, so we appreciate those guys coming out. They're going to be doing some stuff with us later this year, so they wanted to come out and try out some new things they got going on, so excited for those guys to be out. And again, like I said, it's such a great view. I mean, in some of our drone footage we get is pretty incredible, so it's as close to being there without actually being there.
As they say, everything's bigger in Texas,
yes.
Right? So when we've got that nice aerial view, you can really get have more of an appreciation for the size of the hill. And even with that, it's not the same as being here in person and standing at the top and looking down.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Like I said, they have a little bit of a course down the bottom. They have to go through kind of a little bigger loop, and there's some ledges, some rocks, a couple jumps.
And I like seeing that, Matt. I like having a little bit of a longer course, a little more driving time involved before just hitting the big hill. Yeah. So they've got a little bit. You could see they have the tire obstacle out there, a few different areas to go through. They were working on, I know, yesterday and the last couple days getting that course ready for us down there. Dan Carter about to try his hand at the course now. Dan, of course, raced with us yesterday as well.
Running that old school good wrench Dale Earnhardt wrap on the Rock Life off-road buggy there. Again, Dan was talking that some of the tire compounds he runs are pretty similar to stock for as far as DOT goes, but the ply is a lot thicker, so that hopefully it doesn't have any issues. Although he did puncture a hole, so hopefully he should be good today.
Hey, Taylor, we have a request to turn up the volume. And is there a way for you to turn down the radio volume in our headsets? Because they're screaming at us. All right, come on, Dan,
there we
out
go,
the
out the top. See what his time's going to be. Nice.
55796.
Yeah,
Dan
nice.
Carter, first one out the top here.
There we go.
At Bridgeport on the big hill today.
Got that Rock Life wrap. Like I said, it's the original replica of the Goodrich for her.
All right, Trey, how do we sound now?
Yeah. Mic check. Wiki, wiki.
Can you hear me now?
Wiki, wiki, mic check.
DJ Matt.
DJ Matty Matt in the booth up here. Spin on the ones and twos.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Heck yeah, bro.
You've been, saving that up for?
Oh, in college.
Yeah.
I played a lot of music,
all
so
right.
call me DJ Matty Matt.
Makes sense.
DJ Matty Matt. Wiki Wiki.
DJ Matty Matt. Matty Matt with his snacky snacks.
Have you seen the Office Party movie? It's pretty funny.
No.
There's a guy that's like, he's like kind of a nerdy guy, and he comes in, and he's like, he's like, I have a buddy who DJs, and he comes in, and he's dressed as like a different guy, and he's DJing the whole night. It's pretty funny. It's a very comical movie as well. So, Jason, yeah, look at that.
Always a good time out here with our race fam. You know, it's been fun to catch up with everybody after the off season. It's nice to have the break, and of course, with it being over the winter and having the holidays and everything, there's plenty to do and catch up on. But it's good to be back out here with everybody. And I know we'll have even more. Several people checking in yesterday saying they were going to be at Windrock.
Yep.
But I do want to give props to the drivers that made the trek out here to Texas this weekend. I know Justin Wills came like 22 hours or something.
He's coming from like the East Coast to literally the middle of the United States.
And he did 22.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. And I know he probably had the furthest drive, but it's a long drive for a lot of the folks out here.
Pretty much 12 to 14, I think, for about everybody, except for Justin. He's like, just tack another 8 onto that.
Oh, man. So we're glad to have everyone out here that could make it. And, definitely want to give props to those drivers for making the trip out here to Bridgeport. We've got Nathan Andrews checking in from Italy.
That is awesome.
Glad to have you back with us for another season, Nathan.
Big Hill Media jumping in. They were out shooting a concert last night. He Snapchatted me. He's like, hey, Matt, love the race coverage. Appreciate it. He's like, we'd love to be there. He goes, we got to go shoot a concert tonight. But he goes, we'll catch up with you at Windrock here in a few weeks. So we're showing a lot of love. Appreciate those guys. Angie Bacon jumping in there.
This is Joshua Allman.
Sure.
Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Out on the course right now.
Making quick work of that rock section. Dang it.
Who would have thought those tires would do him like that?
I know. Well, they are a little bit off camera there, so that stinks. So it looks like Dan Carter only got to finish the course today. So obviously he's sitting on first. We'll see how the rest of the see how that tunes in. Looks like they're getting our side-by-sides moved out of the way. Get ready for the big bouncers. They're coming up here shortly. It's gonna be a good day. I'm excited.
So much hair in my mouth right now. Sorry.
By the way, I got to show everybody D-Pat has a new sticker,
my sticker,
and it's literally like himself, like shooting cameras. It's pretty dope. I was like, I'm kind of jealous when I saw it in your binder earlier. I was like, how did you get one of those? He's like, all right, Matt, I got you. I said, okay.
You got to be in the right place at the right time,
Apparently.
Matt.
He's like, I have some. He goes, I always have them in my car, and I'll be like, oh, everybody will say they want some. I'm like, all right, I'll bring them in. He goes, then I forget, and I go home, and I'll have like a stack of them next to me. I'm like, stink. So you'll have to hit him up.
Is that what he says?
Yeah. So you have to hit him up. He's in St. Louis. He's not that far from Decatur, Illinois. He's only about 2.5 hours away, so. I can bring some. I can get you some Matt Holt stickers. There's some face ones. I got my my graphic guy that does all my wraps.
Everybody that got a driver swag pack at finals last year has some Matt Holt face stickers.
So
I've been told they've ended up in a lot of different places, Matt.
I've seen some Snapchats of where they've ended up.
I'm sure.
So my graphic guy that does all my graphics, Axel Raps, does all my graphics for me. He called me one day, and he's like, come over. I got something to surprise you with. And I was like, all right, whatever. Went over there, and he looked at me, and he just clicks print. Boop, and it's like, beep, 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 and it's hundreds of my faces rolling off. And I'm like, that is awesome. It was so cool. So he made me 100 of them, and I put them everywhere. I went there right before King of Hammers and ordered another 100, so he got me another 100 so I could give them out to the guys. Some of them end up on rigs, and I'm sure some very interesting spots as well.
So at the banquet last year for finals, I put one on the back of Zach's shoulder, and he didn't know. So until somebody ratted me out. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
He had no idea he had Matt's face on his
shoulder. I know at Clyde at his off-road shop, Spider Off-Road, there's one on the fork truck. Jack Porter has one on his welding helmet.
Oh.
So, yeah.
So special.
Yeah. Taylor has one on his toolbox. So every time Taylor goes to get a wrench or a screwdriver out of his toolbox, he gets to see my beautiful face.
There's no way anybody can forget you now,
or some
Matt.
Beard wax. Every time he goes to get some beard wax, he sees my beautiful face on the toolbox, He's got a pretty dope beard. I mean, my brother, I would say, is like, his beard is top tier. It's like probably the best I've ever seen.
How much Mountain Dew have you had today
only
already?
Like half of one. I just, he has a good beard. I can appreciate a good beard. Even though I'm a clean-shaven guy, Uh-oh. I hear somebody roaring down there.
I hear something a little bigger than a UTV now.
Yeah. Oh, Brandon Davis sitting in the starting gate.
All right, we have moved on clearly to the Branik Motorsports Bouncer Cup. Brandon Davis starting things off for us on Hill 1, or Course 1, rather. He is back in Menace again this season. And excited to see what he's going to do out here.
Nick and Jill tuning in from Southern Ohio. Kyle said, thanks for the live feed. Wish you could be here.
Yeah, glad that you can join us live, Kyle.
Yep, it's a good time. Like I said, we try to have a good feed for you guys. Get to watch some action. It's a lot of labor and love goes into this trailer and the production efforts. We have some new cool stuff coming this year.
A lot of labor.
We got our new
and a lot of love.
Yeah, and a lot of love. Yeah, a lot of labor.
And a lot of caffeine.
Yes, probably some cursing as well. Brandon Davis sitting in the starting gate.
I think this is going to be an exciting day of racing in the bouncer class just because it is the start of the season and we have so many drivers in a new buggy, or new to them at least.
Yes.
Something that we're not used to seeing them in for the season. I think only Brandon, Jay Storts, and you, Matt, are in.
Again, Brandon's running the IFS buggy. There's only two. We have two IFS buggies running today. Brandon Davis has one. Kenneth Cozine is using a rental today, so he'll be running an IFS buggy. He's running Shelby St. Clair's buggy as well. Again, looks like he's making pretty quick work of that rock section. They have some rocks they piled up, and they said that way it doesn't get dug out. Again, they got some big tires there. Ooh, jumping that a little bit. And this is a super steep hill section. And to the finish line.
Making it look easy.
Yes. Got to have a quick time. I think he's turned her.
39.548. Brandon Davis, first bouncer of the day, of the year, of the season.
Yes.
All right, speaking of drivers being in something
buggy?
new to them, Jack Porter should be next on the line. And is that him down there? I can't quite see. I think it is.
Our TV behind us has a bit of a glare today. We're sitting like in front of the sun.
The sun feels amazing, though.
I believe that's Jack Porter and Danny Smith's rig.
So Jack is in Liberty 2 today. He left Venom home. He was down there playing around, getting a little seat time last night. I talked to him yesterday when they had just gotten here, and he was telling me he was going to be, in Liberty this weekend. And he said, "Yeah, I finally get to drive a real race buggy."
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Venom's very capable.
Very.
But glad to see him out here in something new today. That's exciting for him, and he said he'd only really driven it around the parking lot a little bit and loaded it on the trailer. So I'm sure he was happy to get a little seat time last night after we were done with our UTV racing.
And you could hear him like echoing through the valley.
Yes, it reverberates around the hills.
It doesn't matter what kind of car guy you are. Anytime you hear a big motor just echoing, you have to kind of appreciate that, So I think he's got a little more horsepower than the Venom buggy does. He has some upgrades to the Venom he's doing, and I don't think he was quite done with those. And Danny Smith said, "Hey, I got a buggy to drive," and he's like, "All right." I think a true racer is like, "Okay, I'll borrow it,"
So Jack Porter has been part of the SRRS since pretty much the beginning.
Yeah, he's kind of an OG too.
If you are not familiar with Jack, maybe you've never made it to the races in person. Jack, he's a jack of all trades. He helps with anything and everything. He'll help anybody at the events. Clyde's right-hand man at home in their Spider Off-Road shop, as well as here at the races. And I know I've traveled with Jack a lot of times. I'll meet up with him and ride with him out to the events over the years, and Jack will help anybody. And
getting a little squirrely there.
He might whine about it and complain, but he'd do anything for you. So
using the rear steer a little bit.
Oh, that was another thing he was practicing with last night.
Rear steer, yeah, using a little bit there.
He's not used to that.
And he's making quick time of that, I'm telling you. Again, coming up to that rock section. Hitting those race line tires there. We'll see what line he takes. There's about a 60-foot wide area there, so there's a bunch of different lines you can take. Out the top. Ooh, get a little squirrely coming through the finish line.
He says, I got rear steer.
Yeah, he might as well use it.
All right, let's see what his time is.
I say he was coming through squirrely through the finish line there.
Clyde is directing traffic out there. We'll get the time in just a second. I don't think Jack knew where he was supposed to go.
Yeah.
$46.566.
Get her
for
done.
Jack.
That's quick time.
In his first run of the season and his first run ever in Liberty 2. All right, we've got Justin Wills. We talked a little bit about how far he drove for this race, something
incredible.
Like 22 hours to get out here. So obviously he is definitely chasing down points for this season, and he's committed to it. So glad to see him back out here. He did an awesome job last season.
Yes, he was our Central. He came in third place, I think, for our Central Series last year. So.
And he's got that very distinctive color scheme, both in the buggy, in the race suit, in his truck, his pull truck, like everything. Yeah. So you always know where they're set up.
I'm sure Gatlin's not too far behind wrapping her rig.
I'm pretty sure hers was pink as well, wasn't it? Her 170.
Sure. Again, Justin's made some upgrades. I've seen him out doing some shock tuning at his, I think it's a dad's house. He was out doing shock tuning earlier this week. For those of you guys who follow him on social media, he was trying to get the rig, make sure it was 100% dialed in. He had posted some teaser photos this off season of some upgrades he was doing, so we'll see if they paid off here in a minute. Again, he likes to have that, but he usually has giant neon whips whipping back and forth off that thing.
I'm not seeing them today.
He might have figured, hey, we're racing in the daytime. I'll leave them off.
I wonder what happened to him.
I think Buggy Whips is who he gets them from. Again, you can hear his buggy taking off the starting line from up here in the production trailer. Sounds super healthy.
He's got some sponsors here wants to thank. Digging Deeper Racing, Traffic Safety Solutions, East Coast Wheel and Tire, Fritz Transmission, Diddy's B-Block Race Shop, Radical Race Gear, Addictive Photography, and High Octane Films.
And I know the Fritz's transmission does a lot of transmissions for our guys.
Mm-hmm.
Bouncing through that rock section there. Get a little wheel stand action. And here we go, climbing the big steep hill. Again, you can see how rough that hill is right now. Like, these guys just bouncing around through it. All right, through the finish line. Try to give.
41962. Apparently, there's a little confusion.
Yes.
All their
map around ways you could go to get back down the race course. So most of us have just taken that long, easy road back. They said there's a return trail down there, so they're trying to get them flagged to the return trail. Well, there's several return trails over there. One of which is probably more sketchy than our race hill. So a couple years ago, some guys took that on accident and almost rolled over on the return course. So
we had a question about what was Jack's time. Jack had a 46.566. Justin just put down a 41. Brandon Davis has the fastest time so far with a 39. Daniel Heckley.
And I think he will be a driver to watch. He has a rig that's very competitive. It's very fast. It's very durable. So I think if he can keep all four wheels on the ground. I know sometimes he can make some silly mistakes. We saw him make a few and smoked out. But I think
it happens to the best of us.
I think that if he can keep that buggy on all four tires, he's going to smooth this buggy is. I mean, just absolutely how smooth this buggy is. We'll see if we can't see a little of that today. I think he's a really hard driver too. He just drives hard. So I think that's definitely going to show out now with a very fast, competitive, and durable buggy. Hitting that jump.
You know, we got used to seeing him in Smoked Out, and then he was in, was it the Outlaw?
Yep.
Outlaw 2?
Yep.
Last season. And now we're seeing him in Hellbent. And there's always a little bit of a learning curve when you're driving something new. But like we've talked about at Hellbent, obviously, a very capable and well-made vehicle. And it looks like Daniel's not having any trouble at all.
No.
Piloting that on up this hill.
No. Absolutely out the top. Whoa, actually. Okay.
41.121.
Okay.
So Brandon Davis still in the lead with a 39.5, but now Daniel Heckley, these guys are keeping it tight today.
Literally like 0.7 of a second difference between second and third right now. Again, we got Tim Cameron coming to the line, I think. So obviously another guy that's going to knock that podium down a little bit, but we'll see. I think he's coming to the line next. He's on my sheet, so we'll see. Again.
All right, and Timmy, of course, driving Tyrant this season. His brand new for him. Hellbent has that big block, so
running a dry sump. He's got some other race car parts he's put on there this year that are a little bit different than previous drivers. That some of the drag race communities, we're starting to see a lot of those parts hopping up on rock bouncers. Again, Timmy Cameron was the guy who helped make that Branik trailing arm, that big aluminum trailing arm, famous.
Tyrant has a leading arms too, right?
Yes,
not something we see as often
in
the bouncers.
And I've seen a lot of buggies at Ultra 4 this year who had slowly adapted to that. I tell people, we only steal the good ideas. You know, I promise you, we will only steal your good ideas. We can hit a big ledge and kind of went back into a little more shock tuning, bounced up kind of hard. So we'll see how it handles these rocks. Looks like it's going pretty quick. Again, he designed this more with like a trophy truck and Ultra 4 buggy type in mind. He said, I want to be able to go really, really fast. Again.
But definitely still with that distinct green and black.
Oh.
33.790.
Get her
That's
done.
Your leader right now.
Hey, by like 6 seconds. Wow. Man, by 6 seconds. That's incredible. Again, like I said, 4th and 5th place are divided by 0.7 of a second, and Timmy just bumped the leaderboard up by almost 6 full trophy truck and Ultra 4 type in mind. I think he's the first guy we've seen run a sway bar on the front and rear with the rock bouncer setup. Obviously, they're a lot smaller to help keep everything kind of calm, but we'll see how that pans out. Again, like you talked about a little about the leading arm.
Yeah.
Again, running a all aluminum links front and rear. So it looks like we got a few drivers left.
Taylor, we've got some comments that the feed is freezing up, buffering a lot. All right, guys, not much we can do while we're on right now, but during the break, we've got a handful of drivers left, and then we'll be taking a short break, so we'll work on it during that. Thanks for the feedback. Okay.
Again, we got Wade Good racing a big bouncer this year. You might have seen him last year, battling out all season. Ended up going from first place all the way, falling all the way to third with a rollover. He got high centered on the second to last race of the season. The very last race of the season ended up having literally to get out and rehook his starting wire up because his coil kept coming undone. Ended up hopping out, running, and throwing his steering wheel across the finish line.
And he was doing everything he could.
So he ended up tumbling from first to third literally within the last day of racing for the whole season. It was definitely a heartbreak. Hated seeing that. Now he's upgraded to a big bouncer, so he's going to come out and try.
Yeah, we're not used to seeing Wade on our bouncer list.
And being such a competitive driver in side-by-sides, I think that's going to transition well to the big bouncer.
Do you think he's going to be good at driving bouncers?
I think it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
It's
be a good idea.
It is. His race slogan is "It's all good racing," and I'm like, what a
so much material here.
Kenneth Cozine is in the Outlaw buggy. He's running a rental today. We got Jay Storts in his new. All right, Wade's off the line.
We got Mahaley checking in.
Jumps. I said, looks like he's trying to set it down. He is a very, very bouncers, but.
Well, a misfit is another bouncer.
See what kind of time he gets? That is a good looking bouncer. Ooh.
Woo! 34.724.
Wow. Man. Timmy ran a 33 and Wade just ran a 34.
Right on Timmy's heels.
Wow.
So Timmy with a 33.7, Wade now with a 34.7, and then
close.
Brandon with a 39. Those are your top three currently. We've got 3 drivers left to go. Matt, you're one of them. You might want to head down there.
Yes, I heard him say on the radio that I should be up coming soon.
Well, yeah, that's Kenneth and Jay and you.
Okay, I guess I can head down.
And it's like
I know.
all the way
bit of a trek
down there.
Okay, everybody, enjoy your day. I will be back shortly.
All right, have fun. Drive fast. This weekend, Bad Donkey apparently was not prepared for the season, so I think that Kenneth is in karma. So we will see how he does. All right, guys, we're aware of the buffering problems with the feed. We've got some new tech out here for the season, new satellite. So bear with us. You know what? This is a great time to remember back in the day before there was a live feed when you just had to wait and hope that somebody took a video on their cell phone and posted it to YouTube for you to watch. So just pretend that it's like 2016 and you didn't even have a great live feed to watch. We'll all get through this together. All right, Kenneth Cozine, going where? What's he doing? That was not the trail. I'm not sure what he's doing. There's a tree. Yeah, did he lose all steering? Does he only have rear steer? What's going on here? Man, right off the starting line. Ah, you hate to see that for him. Well, we'll see if we get some details over the radio and let you guys know. All right, he slung his steering belt off right off the starting line and then only had rear steer left, so looked like he was maybe going to make it off in the brush. Well, hopefully he can get that belt back on, get squared away, and be able to hit Hill 2 after making the trip out here to Texas. We want everybody to be able to get a run in. All right, we've got Jay Stewart should be coming up to the line next. Matt Holt better hustle. If you guys haven't figured it out yet, we are up at the top of the hill. We've got the trailer set up here, and all of the staging, of course, is down at the bottom of the hill. So we're a little ways away from the pits and the action and the drivers. We probably won't be able to pull any drivers in for interviews with us. All right, Jay Stewart's in Ford play. One of our handful of drivers that's in the same vehicle as he was last season still. Jay also raced in the UTV stock class yesterday for the first time. He also raced in the UTV stock class yesterday. They said, we're here on Fridays anyway, so we might as well. So glad to see them. Oh, no, Jay! Wait. All right. He's just putting on a show. Everybody back up. Let him keep going. All right, can he finish the hill? I think he did break something. I can't. But, man, he wants to finish this hill. Rollover awards, that should be a thing. We should add that to the awards that we do at the end of the year. Our gymnastics award, I don't know. What do you guys think it should be called? Glad to have Jay back out here this season. He's always good for putting on a show, having a good time out here, representing for that Perryville Mafia. I think that they're letting him know something's broken and letting him decide if he wants to keep on or not, is what it sounded like over the radio. Looks like we got Daniel and Justin and Dell down there taking a look at it. Old Ford play getting a little wild out there. He came to play, that's for sure. We're going to see if we can prep a replay video to run for you guys. All right, look, window net's coming down. Helmet's off. I think he's done. Oh, man. All right, we are going to go to a replay. Here it is. Oh, oh. Yeah, that was a classic lawn dart. All right, guys, I need some feedback. What should we name this new award that I say that we should have in the series? Jay is definitely a contender for it. He's just trying to. Is he trying to? Where was it? Hawk Pride and Holden. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Maybe he's just trying to get his name out there the way that Holden did with that crazy. I don't even know what it was. Backflip, triple twist. What do you break? A link bar? Oh, man. Radio chatter is funny, guys. Best of show trophy. Gymnastics. Yeah, we're going to have to come up with some kind of clever name for that. And Jay Storts is at the top of the list right now for receiving that award. All right, I'm listening to what we've got going on now. Matt Holt is going to be our final driver for Hill 1 with the bouncers. Once we get Jay off the course. Of Matt getting suited up and ready, what goes into drivers having the idea to implement this is that there is now a safety checklist printed out in black and white with all of the safety requirements. It's all the same stuff that's always been required for the series, always been on the website, always something every driver is aware of, but now they've got an actual paper checklist that they have to sign at the driver's meeting at every race. So that is just adding another layer to our safety requirements that we're out here. I mean, what we do is an extreme sport and anything can happen, you know, so the best we can do is just all share the responsibility and planning for it as a series. Black and white, everybody's on board. If drivers are new to the series and want to get involved but maybe are still learning about what they need to have or don't have everything that's on the checklist, you know, if it's not something that's a danger aspect, I guess you could say, that we'll work with them on that for the season so that they can still go ahead and race list our new thing. And so what it looks like for the drivers when they're getting ready for the buggy is they got a fire suit to put on. Often there's the shoes and the gloves as well for the whole fireproof outfit. We've got full face helmets, Hans devices, 5-point harness system. All the vehicles have at least 2 fire extinguishers on board, one that the driver can reach and one that recovery crew can reach from outside. Fire suppression systems are going to be required for next season and are encouraged for this year. So that gives everyone a little time to start planning for that, because that's a little bit of a bigger modification than just adding a fire extinguisher to your vehicle. So definitely encouraged for this season to start working their way towards that, and being able to plan for that and budget and whatever needs to be done, going to be required for next year. And all of that is on the checklist as well. So these are just the highlights of what goes into the safety requirements are required as well. So if you like watching but you aren't as familiar with the details that go into this, there's a little idea for you. I'm sure I probably missed a couple things in there just doing this off the top of my head. But safety is definitely something that is always a top concern out here. Doing what we do, all you got to do is watch one video and you can see why. All right, Matt Holt is ready to rock and roll. Yeah, Matt had a little bit of a drive. He was coming from Illinois this weekend. What did he say it was? Like 12 hours? Something like that. So, again, huge shout out to all the drivers that were able to make it out to Bridgeport. We know that this one's a bit of a haul. David said Zach could win the award from yesterday. Oh, Zach could win. We're not sure how exactly it happened. I don't even know if Zach knows how it happened, but he's okay. He's got a few stitches in his noggin, but Zach's pretty tough. All right, Matt. Do not go out like this on race number 1. Come on. Ben says head over heels award. Brandon says the Boast Best Off-Road Action Show Trophy. Oh, all right. The Flipper Award, the Ouch Award. Yeah. Lawn Dart Award. All right, these are all some good suggestions. Hitch, yes, we do talk about this sometimes, but for those of you that are newer to the show, if you want to comment and interact and you want us to be able to see your comments and answer, make sure that you are on the Southern Rock Racing Series Facebook page. That is where we watch from, so if you're watching on a YouTube channel or a different page and you want us to see your comments, well, you're going to, and we'll give you a rundown when we come back.
When you're serious about installing the highest quality drivetrain products designed for high horsepower and bigger tires, there's only one choice. So get the power, performance, and confidence that comes with Yukon. Rev it, climb it, and rip it, knowing you're rolling the best in the industry. Built to perform, built to last. Yukon Gear and Axle.
All right, guys, we're going to do a quick wrap-up before we take our break. Tim Cameron with the fastest time, Hill 1 for the Branik Motorsports Bouncer class. Timmy had a 33.7. Then Wade Good in second right now with a 34.7. Brandon Davis third with a 39.5. Daniel Heckley then with a 41.1. Justin Wills right behind him with a 41.9, and then Jack Porter with a 46.5. Those were our 6 that were able to finish. Hill 1, we had 3 DNFs, Kenneth, Jay, and Matt. And we're going to take about a 45-minute break. We will be back for round 2 for all 3 of our classes, UTV Youth, UTV Bounty, and the Bouncer class. So y'all don't go too far. We'll see you back here at 11:45.